All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Trade of the Week Monday. So, on the weekend, all of the Stats Edge Pro members get emailed to them 20 to 30 symbols with trigger prices and stop losses and all that based off all the algorithms you can find over at statsedgetrading.com, my website. And then on Monday, I'm going to give you one for free that has either triggered or I think could trigger this week. And, just to give you guys a preview of kind of what we're doing here. Now, this one's a little bit interesting. I've missed the trade, so I'll show you what I'm watching for on a potential pullback. But the idea here is pretty simple. So first of all, right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. We are just ripping today, right? And a bounce and just absolute moonshot here on the market. So what I'm looking for is our trend continuation plays. We had one this week. Now, the reason for that is because these have to be breaking out. They're trend continuation plays. We're looking for strong trends to move higher, and we're not seeing a whole lot of that in the market. But you can see above me here, we have a 2% already up on the SPY and 1.4% on IWV, which is our Russell 3000. So that's kind of like the everything stock. Again, everything doing really, really well. So what this one was is a pharmaceutical company, CPRX, Catalyst Pharmaceuticals. And I'll show you on the weekly chart essentially what it was looking at. Nice, really strong move. We're looking for relative strength. So we're looking for names that have been very, very strong in comparison to the market. And in down markets, that's super easy because when the market's down, the CPRX wasn't down. And in fact, last week got very close to all-time highs. And now we broke that today. So ideally, it doesn't do it just like this, where it just breaks and goes. People who set out their orders, their stop limit orders and everything, they're totally fine because they would have gotten filled. Me, I'm just one that I like to see the market action and see the stocks when they trigger. So I use the Discord alert bot, which is just part of the Stats Edge Pro membership, where it will ping you and say, here's the entry, here's the exit, here's the setup in real time as it's breaking. And by the time that happened right off the open, I just missed the trade. So we're still early and it's still only Monday. So what I'm doing is I'm watching and saying, okay, well, 2450 was the entry and we're at 2573. So that's too far for me to chase. But what I can start to do is I can start to watch it on the way down, right? If we get into 25 or sub 25 this week and on a 30-minute chart, there's a number of 30-minute candles there. It looks like we might be digging in. Well, that's a trade that I can take. So you can see how you can take these longer term ideas and then start to potentially just zoom in and say, okay, well, let me fine tune an entry a little bit to make me feel better. But because that one already triggered, I wanted to go over another one, which is CRVO. And CRVO is one that's pulling back here. This is very, very strong on the daily chart. And this is our pullback setup. So whereas our trend continuation one, we're looking for the stock to break through a level and to break out, these we're looking for pullbacks. And again, I've made many videos on why I trade multiple setups because I just think it's the best you can do when it comes to maybe holy grail, is because when one setup's working, maybe the other one isn't, and vice versa. So this one's a pullback setup, and this one's another pharmaceutical type company. This went from $2 all the way to 10 in pretty much a straight line. So we're bidding here on a potential pullback. So I do the same thing. I go into my 30-minute chart, and I just want some evidence that it's here. So this purple line, this was the entry criteria. So the way I look at it is if I can get close to, or even better, below that entry, then over the long run, the statistics will work out. And if you want to see the statistics behind any of these, again, you can go to statsedgetrading.com. I list everything there, every single month of the last 25 years of all of the back tests of these setups. Again, so you can see what we're looking for going over the long run. So that's two this day. I generally only give one, but it's been a slow couple weeks. Not been a lot of triggers, which has been perfect because for most people, it's been an incredibly crazy and volatile couple weeks. For us, it's been a dead couple weeks because just nothing has been lining up with our setup, and we only trade when we have a back-tested edge. So if you're interested in doing the same, basically just waiting for something that has been tested extensively to kind of smack you in the face and say, hey, it's time to take a trade, coming over to statsedgetrading.com.